So, for anybody who doesn't know, we're going to be talking about you guys developed a game. Now, let's develop a community. So, we'll talk about community content and developer content kind of at the same time. So, what is Twitch? Twitch, if you don't know by now, which is totally cool because there's a lot of people who don't know, Twitch is the world's largest live streaming platform for people who play video games at the same time that they're streaming content on us, because there's a lot of other live streaming platforms on us. So, what do we have? We have media, we have communities, we have developers, we have events and esports. A lot of people stream all sorts of content on us now. We'll get into that as well. So, it's a live streaming leader. We started at the bottom, now we're here. We're doing great stuff. For anybody who doesn't know, again, Twitch makes up a very large percentage of the live streaming content that exists across the internet. WWE, sports entertainment, has an incredible service as well. They do, I think, they make up the second biggest one. So people in America and across the world love pro wrestling. And now Twitch loves pro wrestling too, as we'll talk about as we go further into our talk. So, hello Minsk. I'm Jon Carnage. For any of you who don't know, thank you. Wow, we got lights. We got music and lights. That's crazy. So, I've been working in online digital media for a very long time, about 17 years. I started working at a traditional TV station and wasn't very happy with that, as you guys can probably guess. I was told no a lot, and I decided one day I'm just going to start streaming on the internet. Back in the day, there was a service called Justin TV, and that's where I found my voice, and that's where I discovered how to not only stream, but understand the infrastructure and language of the internet and what is now known as Twitch. So, I don't know if you guys have seen this emote right here. This is the Mr. Destructoid emote that is kind of in the top 10 emotes that exist in Twitch. You see, we just had global emotes of 2017. Mine came in at number 8. So that is kind of crazy because everybody probably knows about Kappa and on the other ones. But my little emote started, well, right there on Destructoid. That's how it used to look. Twitch, before Twitch, was Justin TV. And that's a picture from about like 7-8 years ago. And who would have known back then that a little green robot would be now the 8th most used emote in all of Twitch. So it's kind of amazing. For you guys who are new to what I do at Twitch, I am a creative director or a director of strategic partnerships within Twitch. I've started the Destructoid channel, which broke over 100 million views, and I started with other folks the Twitch channel, which also broke over 100 million views. And how did I learn how to do all this stuff is by doing it. And as you guys are thinking about Twitch, or if you're doing Twitch, you have to do this stuff in order to understand it. So both of those channels broke over 100 million views and have probably hundreds of millions, if not billion, minutes watched. So, what have I done since I've been out here and talked to you beautiful people last time? My biggest show of the year, the one that I worked with the most on with another writing partner, was called the Pre-Pre Show. This show was basically counter-programming to what is called E3. Are you guys familiar with E3? Okay, cool. So E3 is like the Super Bowl of gaming. Every major publisher does something really big out there. So I couldn't be as big as E3, right? That's hundreds of millions of dollars being spent to create press conferences. So what I do is, if you can't be E3, be Pre-Pre. And Pre-Pre only costs 20 grand. And not only did it like shine because it was so different, because it's so bad, it actually trended globally. You guys might have seen the Devolver press conference, which we helped out with a little bit. People's heads were exploding, throwing up, arms getting chopped off. Very much a self-aware comedy fest. And the max concurrence for this was 260,000 people at one point were watching this madness. Very proud of this. This is something that worked because it was so different from the glitz and the glam of E3. And that's something I want you guys to think about, right? For some of you people who are starting out and have been streaming maybe just for a little bit, and you don't have many people watching, maybe you're doing something wrong. Maybe you're trying to be like somebody else. Maybe you're trying to be like another broadcaster that you've been watching too much of. So take a second, see what you're doing, and figure out who are you really. And we're going to talk about that a lot because discovering who you are and what you're not is very important. A lot of people would call that failing. But the thing about failing is you realize you're not that thing. You shouldn't be that thing. You should probably be something else. So when I discovered that I wasn't E3, that I was a low-budget comedy show, it proved one big message. A lot of people liked it. So let's talk a little bit about developers, because there's a lot of developers here and what developers are doing on Twitch, right? Developers like Devolver, they actually worked with us for the pre-show, helped us out with the press conference, right? Not only do they do that, they have something called Public Access Developer or Public Access Devolver. They have a low-budget, very low-budget show on Twitch as well. So they're creating original content, they're engaging with the broadcasters, and they're gathering feedback for their games. TinyBuild has been doing this for a while. Devolver's been doing this for a while. There's so many other major developers that have been doing this. The Destiny people, they've been doing this. Battlefield people, EA. All of these people stream on us now. At one point, many years ago, it was a very foreign concept to be a developer, to want to expose yourself to a live audience and show something new or show development of your game that's never been seen before. And over time, people have really just understood that it's part of what makes your game great. Showing your game naked is okay. Showing your game for some of its flaws before it comes out in a beta sense or a pre-alpha sense is actually something that communities, fans of your games, really want to see. So, and creating tournaments, that's another thing. It's kind of obvious, right? But for anyone who doesn't know, this is stuff that really gets momentum going behind your games, really creates a fan frenzy for your content, because your fans can't get enough of your stuff. Look at Binding of Isaac, right? That game, hand in hand, came with the success of Twitch. That game, the fans are still playing it. Whenever it comes out on a new platform like a Switch, people are playing it on Twitch. People want more and more of that content. So, Choice Chamber, for anybody who's never heard of this title, this is a very unique game that actually utilizes a lot of the coolest parts of what makes Twitch special, right? There is a Twitch integration that they use through our API, which is really fun because your chat can either help you or not help you whenever you're playing the game with them. There's a lot of trolling going on, but healthy, happy, community-driven trolling. You can either get a boss battle where the chat can help you or a boss battle where the chat most of the time will not help you. And I have a quick video in here that can kind of give you guys a visual explanation of how this would look.
Okay, what'd I get? I got a sword! Yes! Yes, I can use the sword! And, oh, not the pogo. Not the pogo! Oh, God, I hate the pogo!
And that's the game! Ladies and gentlemen, you killed me!
Oh, Gizmo! Summon the Gizmo! What is that? Everybody type Gizmo now! I don't know what that is, but do it! 20, 36, 42. You don't got much time! Keep it going! Yes! Yes! Oh, I got a little bunny! I got a little bunny!
Type in a number from 0 to 10. Type it in right now in the chat. Let's build a beautiful bridge together. Excellent, good. Keep it. Oh, all right. Hold on. Haha. Beautiful bridge, everybody. Thank you so much.
Put the fist in the chat now! Fast seek fist, do it now! Fist this guy! Here comes the fist! Yeah! Oh, that is so awesome!
So, that game really utilizes all the special magic that makes Twitch, right? And those broadcasters, they are masters. Man vs. Game Zeke. Those guys are masters of understanding the Twitch language, the Twitch universe, and community, which we're going to be talking about here shortly. I just wanted you guys to get a sense of how much is going on in the Twitch universe. And so, let's get over here. This guy's doing amazing stuff. Songbringer, he's been developing on Twitch for about 3 years with this game. He's got a crazy story. He used to live on a boat, decided to stop living on a boat, and said, hey, I'm going to make a video game. And this game is absolutely incredible. Not only has been showing development of the game, he's been showing development of music for the game because he makes music as well. So, let's talk about community on Twitch, right? How do you understand what's going on in your channel? Like I said, Man vs. Game, Zeke, Ocadrian, these guys are masters of what they do. And how do they take advantage of it? They understand how to create a language that identifies their single channel and makes their channel stand out in the universe of Twitch. So, what you guys need to do is create a language, a joke language, a meme language, whatever that is. Talk to your community. Do not be scared to tell stories to the community that you're talking to. Treat that community that's in that channel like a friend, even though that channel could be made up of several people or several thousand people. You have to treat that channel as if it's a single identity within itself, right? So when you finally start understanding how to talk to your chat, you then understand that the chat itself is a breathing, living organism. And once you start wrapping your head around that, then you understand how to talk to it. And that goes with creating your own content that is identified to that chat. At the same time, your chat is going to look different than everyone else's chat, right? So right here is what I wanted to get into a little bit. I started with 0. And now you can see some people down there have 2 viewers, and it goes all the way up to 5,000 people. But for many, many, many months, man, maybe like a year, I had 0 people watching. And that's amazing. That's a good thing. It's okay to not have the entire world watching you, because that gives you a time to understand how to fail up. That's what I like to call it, failing up. Because when you start failing, then you start succeeding, because you realize this isn't working. I'm going to be this. When I realized that I couldn't be a pro gamer, because I'm not that good at playing video games, then everyone started watching. But I tried to be good at video games first, much like maybe some other people in here are trying to be the best at something. Well, why are you going to try to be the best at something unless you actually are the best at something? So find your own unique voice, find that works for you, and then maybe once you realize who you are, because all these people started with very little viewership, you'll spike up to 5,000. That's a great number, by the way. 5,000 people watching your chat, that's a really, really, really good stream. So, biggest thing that's been coming out that we announced at TwitchCon is Streamer Summary. This is going to give you data into when people were watching you the most, what was going on in your chat that actually excited people the most. And let me tell you, understanding that data from an actual analytics point will give you insight and help you move forward like you've never thought before. Before we had these type of analytics, you had to sit there and understand when you were watching your stream as a host, when you're doing something right and when you're doing something wrong. That's incredibly difficult to do. Now you have data points that show you, hey, when you were playing this or this thing happened, you had a spike or a drop in viewership. maybe you wanted that drop because that's what you were going for. But if you didn't know that you were doing something and you thought you were doing something awesome, but it really wasn't and everyone hated it, you'll see that drop and you'll learn from that. Like I said, fail up. So, find your identity, talking about that a lot. Find your identity. Who are you? Where do you exist in this world, whether you're a developer or you are a streamer? Like I said, there is no small streamer. This is what I talked about a little bit. When you look at your chat, there's two ways to look at your chat, right? You could think of it as a single identity or thousands of people in that chat at the same time. And once you understand how to do that, then you'll be able to understand how to talk to your own chat. It's a very, very, very powerful tool. And then last one because I don't have much time left here, is how do you stand out, right? And I've been talking about this whole time, as I realized I wasn't Superman. I don't even know if I'm Batman, but I realized that I couldn't be the glitz and the glamour of E3. I had to be the complete opposite. So how do you stand out, right? Success in our world means being different. You can look at a ton of streamers that have actually broken the mold, and a few of them, Sheriff Eli, he does GTA cosplay, and he role plays as a sheriff in Grand Theft Auto. He's found incredible success doing that. Dr. Disrespect, right? One of the biggest streamers that we have on us right now. He's found incredible success by finding a character and molding that character and growing with that character in the past year that has made him stand out. And how did he do it? He has a mullet wig on, he has a mustache, and he has a gimmick. He did not just sit in front of a webcam and acted like everyone else. So, if you can't fly, run, right? If Twitch will always have a healthy respect for our mad scientists, or if you're a mad scientist, experiment with content. It doesn't matter if 1,000 people are watching you. Try something. Try. Just do not break our TOS, please. But be a mad scientist. We do not tell you how to be a character. Figure that out on your own, whatever that character is, right? We love characters on us. Believe it or not, if you look at all of our Twitch broadcasters, they are all characters in their own unique way, even if they're just sitting there being real, right? They're still a real person, but they're also a real character at the same time. And do not let your great ideas go awry or missing because you're scared to try them. Try them, please. Please do not let your great ideas go away because you just were like, no one's watching. Then great, do it. That's the best time to try something new, is when you have no expectation or because no one will know. So you can then sit down and realize this is how this worked. Whether you're a developer or a streamer, try something new. It will help you. There's nothing wrong with experimenting with content. And Twitch has a place for devs like yourself. We love developers on Twitch. We've been loving developers since day one. We also love creators, which not just mean making video games, playing music, doing the arts. Twitch is a place for the arts. We've got a lot of artists on us that have found success in selling their art by being on Twitch. Twitch is a place for pro wrestling now, or sports entertainment. That was what I did at TwitchCon. Like I showed you in the slide before, live streaming success in the internet, Twitch and WWE. I firmly believe that they are the same audience, and there's no wonder why sports entertainment has found a place on us. That is something called Kaiju Big Battle. Twitch is a place for role-playing. Sheriff Eli, that is the story I was telling you about. He plays that character there. That's how he showed up to TwitchCon, in full fatigue, and in full, as a cop, ready to go. Twitch is community viewing. People sit together and watch cartoons on us on Twitch Presents. The last one that we just had was Yu-Gi-Oh!, which was a really big cartoon in the States. Twitch is random awesomeness. This happened a couple of months ago, I think, or maybe a year ago. They had two bots talking to each other, two Google voices talking to each other, and they were just having these really deep conversations about life, and it went on for a very long time. I just wanted to talk about salty bets. This was a thing that actually happened on us that was actually amazing. It's one of the coolest things that came and went really fast in our universe. Salty Bets was an actual betting mechanism where you can bet not with real currency, but with fake currency, with random video game characters or random comic book characters or random characters in general fighting each other in this small arena. So people were able to get fake currency and then bet on which character would win. And most importantly, Twitch is you. You, the people. Developer, streamer, big broadcaster, small broadcaster, it is you. Without you guys, we wouldn't exist, right? We want the mad scientists. We want you guys to bring us the salty bets. We want you guys to start from the bottom or start from the top, wherever you end up going. Your journey is uniquely you, and we are you. Without you guys, Twitch wouldn't exist. We are just humbled and happy to help you along with the journey. And so thank you guys so much. If you guys have any questions, let me know, because Twitch is you.
У нас стоечка для вопросов.
We have the mic stand for questions over there, so please go ahead. Привет. Наверное, не самый лучший первый вопрос.
Twitch likes developers, Twitch likes creators, but
Yeah.
what about publishers and advertisers?
What do you mean?
At the
Publisher-
moment, we use Social Blade to find the best Twitcher that we can support with different game bonuses, and let's speak sincerely, with money probably, because we have time, we have creativity, we have our employees who can help. But Social Blade, as far as I understand, it's a separate service. How can I, as an advertiser, as a publisher, use, probably you have some infrastructure for us to use some analytics to gather some, I don't know, statistics to choose the best creator, to support him, to spend time,
Yeah.
and so on.
Well, I mean, that really comes down to what your game is. That's a very difficult question, so thank you for that. As publishers tend to, well, what game are you talking about? Is it just
I'm
a
a more
random,
RPG or
just an
shooter
RPG?
game. Or
So
doesn't-
let's just talk about Binding of Isaac, right? I'm very close with Nicholas. So Nicholas, it's very just touch and go. People will come to Twitch and see who has been playing their game traditionally. It's a little bit more heavy lifting on your part, because if you have a very popular game or not very popular game, you can look for who is actually playing your game and see who's getting the most traction out of that. Northern Lion is a guy that always plays Binding of Isaac. So that's somebody that Nicholas would talk to. It's a little bit more homework for you guys, because you guys have to figure out who's already playing your content. Now you're asking me who would be the right
About
person
some
for,
tools.
yeah, future, right? That in itself goes to the obvious ones, right? Because either you're going to go with like try to get like a Dr. Disrespect or a Lyric or a top 100 Twitch broadcaster to play your game, which that information exists. It's pretty much out there. You can actually go to the Twitch front page and pretty much see who's in our top. Or this is what I would do, is I would take a chance with the smaller broadcasters, because from what I've been hearing for the longest time is that a smaller broadcaster has, and this is from developers that have been telling me this, a smaller broadcaster has a more intimate relationship with their audience, and when they get an opportunity for a sponsored thing like you're talking about, and they like the game, right, you really want to have that. You don't want just someone to sit there and be, oh, I like the money. No, you want somebody to be super transparent. Like I'm getting an advertisement, but I also like this game. So you find a smaller broadcaster, they will be able to hype it in a way that the audience is like super into that experience, because it's more intimate. When you talk to somebody who has like 20,000 people in their chat, granted they have more viewership, right? But at the same time, they might not have that one-to-one intimate relationship that they used to have with their audience. So it's heavy lifting on your part. more or less?
Probably for future. Is it possible to give us some agreed access to the statistics of different Twitchers? Is it possible?
I don't know.
Or do
I
we
don't know.
have this
I'm
tool
on.
already?
I know, but I'm on the creative side, so I'm not on the sales side. So when Twitch had 40 people, I probably would have known your answer. But now that Twitch has like 1,200 people, and we have offices all over the planet, I no longer know how the sales activation stuff works in that unique space of what you're talking about.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you
sure.
for your presentation.
Yeah, thank
you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Hello.
Hey.
The strategic music company, we meeting at Moscow, and he admired me to use the Twitch as a platform for the roleplay content.
Yeah.
And we go for it, and it will be great. Because I haven't roleplay, I have a games, I have it on wall content, and Twitch makes it for wall people. It's really great. So my question is about the wall convents and other maybe parties and other girls for developers to make the game on many platforms, the most popular, which you guys made it. What you tell about this?
I heard a lot of questions in there. What's the one question? What's the most popular platform?
What is a better way to make your game or make your video or other popular for most people on the Twitch?
What's the best way to make your game or whatever popular on Twitch? There is no best way. I'm being sincere with you, because like I was talking about, you have to discover the best way that works for you. And I could sit and talk to you on an intimate level where multiple ways could be the best way. Because first-person shooters can't go by the strategy that I might tell you. You have to sit and discover what the identity is of what you're trying to achieve, whether it is a game or create a successful channel. There's no one way. I wish I could tell you. I wish I could say, this is how you do it. Now, there's steps that you should follow, like understanding your analytics, understanding this worked, this didn't work, but telling you what worked, that's different for everybody in here. Everybody is completely a different story, and that's the beauty of Twitch. Twitch is a million different individual stories inside Twitch's own single story. It's very complicated. So I wish I could say, like, this is the one way, and you're going to do it. And
so
yeah.
try out there and just see what works. Okay.
Yeah. Whatever that could be. Well, I mean, have you tried?
Okay, I try to. I have a cosplay and have a game. Whoop. I have.
Yeah, mix it together. Yeah, that can work.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.